What is going on, world? What's up, everyone? It's Zero here. Today I'm bringing you guys a brand new Starcraft 2 video. In today's video, it's going to feature two players who play in the WCS Pro Circuit. Spawning here in the top left-hand corner of Asset Plant LE, playing with the Zerg pieces, he is a player who goes by the name of HateMe. And on the opposite side of the map, playing with the red Terran pieces, we have a player who needs no introduction. His name is uThermal. So uThermal, guys, very well-known Terran player who has been playing StarCraft 2 for quite some time, for a number of years, and is an absolute beast when it comes to the Terran pieces. Whereas HateMe, on the opposite side, I just started casting a couple of games from him. You guys can check those out on the YouTube channel now. But he is an absolute beast, guys, with the Zerg pieces, and I'm very interested to see what and how he plays a player of the likes of uThermal, and can he hang with a player of the likes of uThermal, because like I was saying, guys, one of the big reasons why I love casting games from players who aren't as well known in the StarCraft 2 community is because I feel that maybe, just maybe, some of these players who you may not know as much about may become the up-and-coming players in StarCraft 2 who really will dominate the scene over the long term. So definitely going to be interesting to see what HateMe does against uThermal. It looks like he's going for a standard hatch gas pool, and then across the map it looks like we're getting a standard barracks into a refinery, and now it looks like uThermal is going to go ahead and possibly get a command center here in the natural expansion. Orbital command is just now finishing as well. Looks like his tech of choice is going to be a Reaper, which is great for scouting information, figuring out what the Zerg player is going to be doing. A couple of Queens are going to be coming out, as well as Zergling Speed, probably the most important upgrade for a Zerg player, and probably the very first upgrade a Zerg player should get. So Terran player looks like both players are going to be playing a relatively standard game, at least at this point in the game. So, going to be interested to see if how our Zerg player is going to respond to the quick Reaper here. Just going to be some quick back and forth here between these two players as uThermal tries to get a couple of kills here before this Queen does come out. The Queen has come out here. Very nice micro right there, getting the Spore Crawler up there for our Zerg player. And as this is going on, it seems as though our Terran player got himself a factory as well as a starport now. Looks like he's probably going to go for double Hellions, possibly. Yeah, so it's going to be double Hellions is what he's going to start constructing at this point. And this is very good for a Terran player to get the Hellions, because it can be absolutely extremely annoying dealing with a bunch of Hellions when you are the Zerg player. Third base is going to be coming up for our Zerg player as well. He's going to go for, it looks like a standard macro-focused style here. Not too many, it doesn't seem like HateMe has much defense against possibly some of against these Hellions when they do end up coming out. And it looks like a Raven. Very interesting. I'm interested to see what uThermal decides to do with the Raven. Probably, most likely, guys, the Ravens are very good at harassment as well when it comes to a mineral line. Looks like he's got this Raven that's probably going to come directly for the third base location and try to do as much damage as possible with the turrets. Looks like the Bailey Nest is going to be coming up here now, as well as the Lair will be coming up here shortly for our Zerg player. Hellions have now made their way across, and it looks like going deep onto creep. I wonder what the response is going to be by uThermal. Decides to back off. I think that was a smart decision on his part. Looks like HateMe is trying to get as much information as possible, and that Overlord just randomly disappeared. You guys see that? That was weird. Looks like another Raven's going to be coming up here for our Terran player. Looks like he's got this Raven rallying around a couple of these bases here, which would be the third and then into the natural. Probably going to try to get some value here. Surprised the Spore Crawlers are not out quite yet here. The Raven is here. Looks like he is going to have one of the turrets go down. These auto turrets can actually do quite a bit of damage here. He's trying to target some of these drones here. But when it's all said and done, not too much damage was brought out. But more and more Hellions. I like this a lot. Looks like our Terran player is planning on trying to get himself a nice barbecue going on here. He's going to go directly into what is going to be the natural expansion. And it looks like all of these Zerglings are going to get such a barbecue right here. But it looks like they're going to try to get this round on all of these Hellions. Doesn't look like that's going to be quite the case here. But I think our Zerg player does have enough to hold on against all of these Hellions. I will say this, though. What that did was it's buying uThermal time. It's forcing our Zerg player to get a lot of drones out just in the event that he consistently kept pushing. And at the same time, you got uThermal now going on to his third base here, his third command center. And so he's going to start mining happily on 3 bases. And he's really taking the fight here, at least at this point, to our Zerg player. +1 is probably +1/+1 is probably going to come up for our Zerg player at this point with the 2 evolution chambers now up. Stim pack is now being researched, as well as the +1/+1 upgrades for uThermal as well. Siege tanks are now going to be coming out for our Terran player. Looks like he's getting more and more of these Marines, and it looks like these Hellions are going to try to come in and get some of these kills on some of these drones, getting a lot of kills at least at this point in a really nice position, really roasting a lot of those drones. And just like that, now uThermal is now ahead in the supply count. And now he's just getting a bigger and bigger force at this point. And like I was saying, guys, I was really wondering if HateMe was going to be the one who was going to be really pushing most of the time on the Terran player, but it seems like it's the complete opposite. It looks like at this point, our Terran player is deciding what happens and when things happen. Another factory is going to be coming out for our Terran player. Look at this production tab. So many things happening for the Terran player, at least at this point, and this is probably exactly where uThermal wants to be. Armory is going to be coming up here very shortly, and looks like now you're going to get a couple of medevacs coming out. Looks like he's probably going to possibly get some drops here. This Raven is just being a nuisance on the other side of the map, which is basically making our Zerg player split up his army. 4th base is going to be coming up here for the Zerg player. And it looks like he's got his upgrades coming up now as well. 10 Banelings are going to be on that production tab. Looks like the Infestation Pit's coming, as well as some Hydras. So I like that decision a lot. This is a pretty big force, though, right off the get-go here. He's hitting from multiple locations here at once. Looks like all of this main bulk of the army here is going to be coming across the map here. And it looks like, just like that, though, it looks like they do get surrounded by all of these Banelings. But it looks like there's just enough here for the Zerg player to continue moving onwards. So that engagement, I think, went in favor of uThermal a little bit, because now he is on his 4th base location, which now the 4th base of uThermal is going to be coming up as well. And I just don't know if this is the position you want to be in against a player like uThermal, playing the macro-focused game. Looks like he's going to send some Zerglings across the map. That is HateMe. But there is a perfectly placed siege tank as well as some Marines here, just in case this were to come. So, basically getting some free Zerglings for his troubles here. And just like that, guys, looks like we're going to be getting into the late game here. +2/+2 is now going to be coming up for our Terran player. Same can be said for our Zerg player as well. And it looks like at this point, it looks like we are now going to be going to the Hive for HateMe, which is going to be interesting because he's going to be going for those Hive-based units. And that was a very good scan on uThermal's end. He knows that the Hive is coming. He has decided that he wants to close the game out right here, right now, with this unit composition, and I think he may be very well able to do so. But it all comes down to the micro game here. I wonder how uThermal is going to really do this, as well as what is going to be the plan for our Zerg player. Looks like he's bringing the fight to him, which is uThermal here. Looks like he's going to try as hard as he can to get this 4th base location in some trouble here. But it looks like there is still quite a bit of some Zerg here. More and more Zerglings are coming onto that production tab right now to deal with this army. And I just wonder, is it just a matter of time until our Terran player decides to slow push onto the creep here? Should be very interesting. This is a big army, though, and there is a 5th base that's going to be coming up here for our Zerg player. So the longer this goes, this may go in favor of the Zerg player. And it looks like maybe the fight is about to start right here and right now. And it looks like a nice pickup micro there for our Terran player. But there is still a lot of units here, and it looks like at the same time, I like this decision a lot. We have a lot of Banelings that are going to be coming into this 4th base location of the Terran player. They basically are able to do almost nothing simply because of the planetary fortress. And while this is all happening, it looks like at this point, our Terran player is trying to still continuously slow push onto the Zerg player here. He's got so many siege tanks, and now he's got these liberators coming up. This could spell disaster for our Zerg player here. He's going to probably, looks like he's going to try to get the surround here on this Terran army, but the Terran is now already going to be moving onto the creep. He's going to try to go out ahead and take out this 4th base location. Beautiful, beautiful splits here, and the Zerg is trying as hard as he can to do as much damage as possible, but it looks like the Terran player just has too many units, and this 4th base is in a lot of trouble, at least at this point. The Vipers are going to be coming out here for our Zerg player. He does still have a decent-sized army, and the Blinding Clouds are coming in for these Vipers, and it looks like he's going to try to land on top of all of these siege tanks, but just like that, the Blinding Clouds are coming onto about 4 to 5 of these siege tanks, and the roly-poly, which are the Banelings, are coming in, but there is just too many siege tanks. And when at the end of the day, uThermal is able to win with just the sheer amount of siege tanks he had and the amazing positioning he had with those. I hope you guys did enjoy this game between uThermal and HateMe. And if you guys did, leave a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, stay positive, and as always, I'll see you guys all in the next one. Peace.